You want to fight him again?
Yeah, for sure. We gotta make that bag.
That bad.
My first contract is signed for a immediate rematch, when there's a draw, or if in the case of a draw, or if I win. So I'm already contractually signed to a rematch. It's on him.
We've been amateurs together, so I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming there to fight, but he did a lot better than I thought he would, and I thought he wouldn't fight personally.
Gervonta Davis has finally spoken out about signing the contract for his rematch with Lamont Roach. He admitted that he wasn't fully focused during their previous fight and acknowledged that he could have approached it differently. Taking responsibility for his performance, Davis vowed to prove himself in the upcoming rematch, which is now officially set. This self-awareness shows his determination to improve and silence his critics. With both fighters gearing up for the showdown, this rematch is shaping up to be one of the most highly anticipated bouts in recent boxing history.
I could have stopped him. It's me. Definitely my fault. It's all right. You know what I mean? You live and you learn. I definitely could have. That was on me too. That was on me for sure. Because I ain't pick it up when I supposed to pick it up. And I could have definitely did more.
Devin Haney, a well-regarded name in boxing, weighed in on Lamont Roach's performance, noting that he has known Roach since childhood. Haney commended Roach for his efforts in the fight and expressed his belief that Roach had done enough to secure the win. His support adds weight to Roach's claims of victory and intensifies the ongoing debate over the fight's outcome.
And finally, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Gervonta Tank Davis situation. What was your assessment on his fight against Lamont Roach, and what are your thoughts on the knockdown that wasn't called in round 9?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good fight overall. Lamont, I always knew Lamont was, he wasn't coming to lay down. I've been knowing Lamont since we was kids, so we came up in amateurs together. So I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming there to fight, but he did a lot better than I thought he would, and I thought he wouldn't fight personally. Yeah, the no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own two eyes, and yeah.
Yeah, you were, you've made some comments. So I wanted to see the backflip, and I'm surprised Tank didn't say nothing back to you about that.
Hey, I was just speaking my opinion on.
Speculation about a potential rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach has been gaining momentum, with reports indicating the fight could happen around June this year. Following the controversy surrounding their initial bout, Davis is now under pressure to reaffirm his dominance and quiet critics who argue that Roach was the rightful winner.
Rumors are swirling that Gervonta Davis could be back in the ring around June to rematch Lamont Roach. Hopefully there's some truth to that, because Tank needs to redeem himself immediately.
The rematch is anticipated as both Davis and Roach have unfinished business to settle. Their first fight ended in controversy, leaving fans split over the outcome. A second bout would give both fighters the chance to prove themselves and definitively resolve the debate.
The reason why I say this fight needs to happen again, because both fighters have something to prove. I just saw a tweet from Gervonta Davis saying that he was going to activate the rematch. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Would I like to see this fight happen? Yes, I would like to see a fight happen again, because I think that the next fight is going to be a whole lot better. And I think the next fight is going to end with somebody being on the canvas, in my opinion. But I think that Lamont Roach, I want to give a shout out to Lamont Roach for putting up such a amazing performance. We never seen anyone stand there toe-to-toe with Gervonta Davis. We never seen anyone there throwing punches, power punches, at Tank Davis and not being knocked out. And I also want to commend Tank, because Tank didn't have to take this fight.
Julian Gonzalez, another fighter, believes that Lamont Roach has a strong chance of winning if a rematch happens. He noted that both fighters would refine their strategies and correct their mistakes from the first bout to deliver a stronger performance. Gonzalez's confidence in Roach indicates that the challenger is a serious contender for victory.
Who do you feel like wins the rematch?
Who wins the rematch?
Yeah.
They're both going to come ready again. See, the first one was a tough one too. I had Lamont put it off. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, smart. Like I wasn't mad at the draw. I'm gonna rock with Lamont though.
Think Lamont takes him?
It's hard.
Close, yo.
Because
Look,
Lamont surprised me a lot, you know? So, yeah, I'm saying Lamont, man.
Lamont Man, one of Lamont Roach's sparring partners, expressed frustration over the fight's outcome, claiming that Roach actually won, but was robbed due to the influence Davis holds in the boxing world. He hinted that the judges may have been swayed by Davis's power and status rather than scoring the fight fairly. Shout out to my man Lamont. Alright, so you spar Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with Gervonta Davis. First, what did you think of the fight? What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely in a point of bias there. Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore, definitely. I mean East Baltimore all day, but it's I'm looking at it for a point of bias because his dad, you know, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. See? And then I get to see like how hard a world champion works. And not only that, to see how he treated his people, so I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else he made me believe in can't for real, cause me and him like have similar personalities. No, I mean as far as the ring, you know what I mean. So everything we was ready for, like the talking __, and everything like that, cause that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying me. So everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too, you know what I'm saying, but Actually, when I was there, I thought they actually was going to like rob you, I mean, but you can't deceive the people that's dead for what they saying for real. So you felt like he should have got the nod decision ably, especially with all the other controversy too. It should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works. But now, I mean, we running the back for a reason, you know what I'm saying. Gervonta Davis's trainer acknowledged Roach's skills and explained that their strategy for the fight had been well planned. He suggested that if a rematch were to happen, they wouldn't make drastic changes, but would only need minor adjustments to secure a clearer victory for Davis. Surprised by Roach and Tank, what do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight? It wasn't surprise, because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, they don't exist. There are fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity, you know. Speaking of a rematch, as Jill Hackett is getting his opportunity again to fight the guy that he had a controversial loss to. It be happening in Florida, I think, what, next week, March 15th. I suppose I'm rocking a major shirt now. Big Cano Alvarez weighed in on the controversy surrounding Davis taking a knee during the fight. He stated that if a fighter willingly takes a knee, they can be disqualified under certain conditions. His comments add another layer to the debate over whether the referee handled the situation correctly. Did John Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point? And in the end lost that fight to Roach? In your opinion? Yeah, in my opinion, if was a draw, he take a knee and plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my business. Many fans have ridiculed John Davis for his excuse that his hair was too greasy, which led to him taking a knee in the fight. Critics believe this was a weak explanation and argue that a true champion would not have relied on such justifications. This controversy has only increased demand for a rematch. You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it, Lamont. Please mention that in the second bout. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, don't you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, hey buddy, be on that, cause here's the thing. He never heard Roach. Roach just waited, and Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my god, I didn't believe he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh my. And then he just sat there like, you can't, I know what you're going to do, because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy, but he known Roy since amateurs. Roy claimed he never enjoyed battling sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened to Roach. Renowned commentator Joe Rogan has insisted that a rematch between Davis and Roach must happen. He argued that Davis could not walk away from the controversy, as boxing fans deserve to see the fight settled in a fair and decisive manner. It's everybody saw it. You can't get around what everybody saw. Look, it wasn't a legit knockdown like he heard. Tank did have some __ in his eyes. But what are you doing putting underscore underscore. In your hair when you have a world title fight that's crazy, and no one want to hear about in the middle of a fight that no one cares if a FLOY fly by drop the ball bro drop the damn ball. We don't care if a fly flew by your helmet or your eyes, yeah nobody gives a underscore underscore about that. You can't be a championship fighter and taking a knee and putting on those type of performances. Also, what are they putting in his hair that when he's sweating is dripping into his eyes? Like what is that? Underscore underscore. Yep bro, shave your head right, yeah exa underscore underscore. Head, who cares? Don't pretty guy you about to go get this fight, get those underscore underscore braids out of there. You don't need those. Joe Rogan also chimed in on the critical moment when Davis took a knee in the 9th round. He noted that if a fighter voluntarily goes down on one knee, it should be called a knockdown. His research reveals that the referee may have made an error in judgment that influenced the fight's outcome. Gervonta Davis Lamont Roach fight, yeah, that was trash. Well, I thought it was a good fight. You didn't think? Great fight. I just champion guy taking a knee, talking about grease in his hair, yeah, that was crazy. I'm like, yo, how you just in the middle of the fight just go wipe your face? Also, here's the deal, if you take a knee, that's a knockdown. A track 2 right, I didn't hit with a jab, yeah, you took a knee and then you walked off, exactly, that is a knockdown. So I think they're reviewing that right now. No, that God should have lost maybe. Well, I feel like if they do review it and they do judge it as a knockdown, which was clearly a knockdown to everybody, you take a knee, that's a knockdown, they will probably give it to Lamar. Interesting rule, they have a power slap that kind of talks about what you guys were just discussing. Gervonta Davis has faced long-standing accusations of cherry-picking his opponents to maintain an undefeated record. Critics argue that he avoids the toughest challengers and instead chooses fights that are favorable to him. The controversy surrounding the Roach fight further supports this notion. That fight with Tank and Lamont Roach demonstrates how protected Tank has been for the past several years.